Yes, and all that. Alex Jones and the team at Infowars.com say 1776 will commence again if your president tries to take your guns. You still think it is all my fault?
In January 2013, President Obama and Hillary Clinton appeared on 60 Minutes with Steve Croft. Much of that interview was edited and left out of what America saw. We have gained control of that interview. Americans should judge for themselves whether they want these two individuals in charge of the United States of America.
Good evening. I'm Steve Croft. I'm here this evening with President Barack Obama and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Hello to you both.
Good evening, Steve. It's my pleasure to be here. I think I hit my head recently. The past 40 years are a bit fuzzy.
Hello, Steve. Just relax, Hillary. I'll fill in their fuzzy parts for you if you waver from the script.
Well, sir, we won't be following any script. These are the questions most Americans still don't have acceptable answers to.
Let me stop you right there, Steve. Might I remind you of that beautiful new house the taxpayers bought you? And that large cash deposit in your bank account in the Cayman Islands?
I completely understand the way you pay us media folks handsomely to avoid any scrutiny of you both. Still, it is time for America to get the truth from you both on a few items. First, Mr. President, let's put this issue to rest with respect to your eligibility to be president. Are you a natural-born U.S. citizen?
Steve, might I remind you I have authority to throw white people in prison who oppose me or ask dumb questions. That said, I would be happy to answer your question. I was born in Kenya. My father was a Kenyan. We moved to Indonesia. I became a citizen there. I am as much an American as my good friend Osama bin Laden. I spend a fortune of the taxpayers' money to seal my personal records. My college records as a foreign student. All records of my relatives. At this point I have bought and paid for 2 elections with taxpayer money. So, to coin my friend Hillary's saying, what difference does it make?
Did I hear my name? Is it time to come out of hiding yet? Head bearer, you are 3 paychecks behind. Don't make me angry again.
You do make a point there. Congress has already proven they won't impeach you knowing you met with the Supreme Court privately and money exchanged hands. The next question is for you, Madam Secretary. Your former boss Jerry Zeifman said in an interview you were an unethical, dishonest lawyer. And a pathological liar. You were fired.
Oh, Steve, you're a funny man. Might I remind you that since my testimony before Congress on Benghazi, the media began a 4-year love fest for me?
Yes, you are correct. We did receive an internal memo from George Soros and his Media Matters group regarding that very thing. Let's move on. That brings me to another important point. What about these rogue reporters that defy you like Fox News, Alex Jones, Infowars, and Rush Limbaugh?
Well, Steve, our staff developed a 14-point plan regarding this very thing. First, we publicly humiliate them. Then we follow them. Detain them. Next, we audit them and create chaos in their lives. Then we shut down their broadcasts. The last 10 points are in a gun magazine waiting for my command. Alex, you especially, are an enormous pimple on my butt. And you know what I do to big zits. I pop them. Ha 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 ha.
I just saw an episode of American Idol. Some enormous black woman paid tribute to you, sir, by singing the national anthem. She was horrible. The judges sailed her right through.
Yeah, we paid the Idol people big money to make that happen. And we doubled her food stamps. Hillary, wake up. You need another beer?
The next part of our interview will be specifically yes or no answers to questions. In the essence of time, let's restrict your answers to yes or no only. Mr. President, you took an oath twice reciting your belief in the U.S. Constitution. Do you believe in the preservation of that document as the backbone of this country?
Ha 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 ha. No.
Good one, Barack. That actually made me a little wet.
Mr. President, the Supreme Court will soon rule on your eligibility to be president. Falsifying records, multiple social security numbers, Do you think they will rule in your favor?
Of course, Steve. I pay them handsomely to render ridiculous decisions and say the Constitution is dead, dead, dead.
Let's move on. Madam Secretary, did you lie to Congress regarding the events that occurred in Benghazi?
Yes, I did. Congress doesn't have a pair of balls collectively between them. If you don't ask the right questions, then I will lie. It's what the Democrats are trained to do.
We'll stop here to let you elaborate. Will you tell us exactly what happened in Benghazi?
Sure. At this point, what difference does it make?
Hillary is right, Steve. We are untouchable now. Most people view me as their messiah. Their Allah. They would eat dog crap if I told them to. And don't worry. It's coming.
So Steve, Barack and I were running an illegal covert gun operation through Turkey to Libya. We were pocketing some good coin. Stevens went rogue and went back to get documents to implicate Barack and I for treason. Barack ordered Stevens to be killed by betray us. We sat in the Situation Room and watched for entertainment. Betray us threatened to go public and we had to threaten him with his life. That's why we made that whole thing up about his affair so he wouldn't conveniently commit suicide.
Oh, Hillary. Now you're making me wet.
And what happened to all the survivors from Benghazi?
Oh, Steve. What difference does it make?
That's true, Mr. President. So what about this thing called Fast and Furious? Selling guns to the Mexicans to use to kill Americans.
Sure, Steve. Americans need to understand becoming their king. Their dictator has many steps. Fast and Furious put money in our pockets while creating chaos on our Mexican border.
Hey Barack honey. Don't forget to tell them I think the US flag is a piece of crap and doesn't match anything in my wardrobe.
What about Aurora? Sandy Hook? All the recent mass shootings?
Steve, they were all false flags with paid actors. You should have seen us practicing for them. They even let me wear a SWAT outfit and carry a gun. I never got to play games like that when I was a kid in Indonesia.
Madam Secretary, the media is being paid to tout you as the best candidate for president in 2016. Are you up for the task?
Steve, I could care less about the scrap hole of a country. I'm only doing it to complete Barack's master plan of destroying America.
So Mr. President, can you clue us into some of the details of the master plan?
Sure, Steve. It's like this. I was picked as a kid and courted by Illuminati, the bankers, Bilderberg, the Rothschilds to ruin America for them to take over. They paid for me to go through college, paid for my Senate wins, my presidential wins. They want me to destroy the economy. Brainwash the people into socialism.
That seems like a lot of work and a lot of money. What's the goal?
Hillary and I and a select few are part of an elitist class. We are better than everyone else. Those who aren't us do not deserve to be on this earth.
Continue, sir.
Not a single one of those sheep questioned where $6 trillion went. Right into their hands. The stock market is artificially being propped up by printing money out of the Fed.
So you're saying the market is going to crash?
Ooh, I got this one, Barack. It will be worse than 1929 by 100-fold. They will all be in breadlines and their government will just laugh at them.
Hillary is right. But one thing remains. We have to get all the guns so Americans are helpless.
That might be tough, sir. It doesn't look like you'll have enough votes to get a gun ban through Congress.
Steve, you're such a silly man. It doesn't matter what Congress does. In 2009 I made myself the leader of the United Nations Security Council.
But sir, I believe that is an impeachable offense. You cannot hold that title and title of President of the United States at the same time.
Ha 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 ha. Impeachable who, me? Hillary, will you clue him in? How many impeachable offenses have I committed?
I believe it is like 200. But since you don't believe in the Constitution and you had your fingers crossed behind your back when taking your oath, none of them count.
So when the gun bill fails, I will pass a United Nations resolution to confiscate all of the Americans' guns. The United Nations doesn't have to observe the Constitution.
Wow, that is pretty slick, sir. It's like a pyramid of impeachable and treasonous offenses. Don't you anticipate the Americans will put up a struggle?
Yeah, it will be entertaining to watch. But they still don't know I have one ace up my sleeve. They have been complaining I haven't made any spending cuts. I did make one good one. As of March 2013 I have lifted our southern low-level air defense system. That means our enemies can fly in undetected. They can even launch nuclear missiles at Americans. Those who resist the gun confiscation will be killed or placed in FEMA internment camps. I will decide who lives on a case-by-case basis depending on the mood I'm in.
Wow, that sounds like it could get pretty bloody for a lot of people, sir.
Yes, it could, Steve. But Americans deserve it. They have lived for too many years in their excessive capitalistic society. Time for them to meet Allah.
How do you envision it will all end, sir?
We owe too much to China. We will let them march in from Mexico and take the western half of America. This will square our debt with them and I will be king of the East. Those Americans who are still alive will praise me for eliminating the federal deficit.
Well, certainly a well-thought-out plan, Mr. President. That's about all the time we have allotted. Are we still on for golf Saturday?
Oh, absolutely, Steve. But before we go, haven't you forgot one thing?
What's that, sir?
You need to send some more special love to Hillary.
I'm sorry I forgot, Mr. President. Hillary, you are the best. You will make just the bestest darn president.
Aw, Steve. Thank you. But remember our motto. Nobody we know or we pay ever cries any real tears.
That is right. I won't forget. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, to this special interview with President Barack Obama and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Good night.
Yes, good night, my sheeple.
Ba 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 ba, what difference does it make?
Americans are the stupidest people. You actually believe I was killed during the night and dumped in the ocean, and everyone on SEAL Team 6 is committing suicide.
Come here, you slimy towelhead. I'm not finished with you yet.